Greetings in the name of the great Ra. Many people be asking what is Ra. Well, Ra is the S-U-N, the Son of God. The S-U-N of God. That's Ra, the life giver of the planet. Okay? Now, Jaba ptah here with you again, greeting you in the greeting word of peace, love, and harmony. Huh? That is my greeting to you today, people of planet Earth. Well, people be asking question about who is this Jaba ptah and where did Jaba ptah come from, and they never heard about this Jaba ptah. Well, Jaba ptah and his journey from the beginning of the Nile. First, he came from the heaven-filled waters of the Nile. From the beginning of the Nile. At the foothill of the mountain of the moon, from where God happy dwells. And on my journey, and the Ethiopian Ocean, catching the North Ethiopian current from the west coast of Ethiopia, the continent of Ethiopia I'm talking about, out of the Nile Valley, from the mountain of the moon, where God happy dwell. Unless you wonder who is God happy, God happy is the first people on the planet. First Ethiopian called themselves the ptah. Those people who some people call pygmies today are midget. They are not midget and they are not pygmies. They are Ethiopian first people on the planet. They're called ptah. And some people call them some other names anyway. But let's get to the fact. Now, as Jaba ptah journey to the western coast, and boats carry 5 people on the boat, plus provision for up to 6 months on these boats, catching the Ethiopian current, going up. And when we do that, we land at the Yucatan Peninsula. And from the Yucatan Peninsula, we drift on into the Caribbean to a place called Jamaica. Some call it Jamaicans. And you talking about who is we? We are those people who they call the Ethiopians, we are also the people they call the ptah, back in our early days when we were traveling through the 4 wings of the earth, giving names to things. First eating fish and vegetable on the banks of the Nile. In the land called Al-Kaaba land. Now, today, people are asking who is Jaba ptah. So, Jaba ptah is telling you who he is. He's a human who trod from the Nile Valley, from the beginning of the Nile. Unless you know what is this Nile thing. It means shrimp river. That's the meaning of the word. 4,100 miles long. Flows from the south to the north. and empty out into the great sea that you call today the Mediterranean Sea. That's where I'm talking about. Flows from out of the mountain of Itiali, out where the God happy dwells, mountain of the moon. So you're asking where Jaba ptah came from. So that's one of the places. So we go to Jamaica. When we go to Jamaica, we popularize Jamaica. And when we look at Jamaica, Jamaica look like where we come from. It is one of the most beautiful land that you could ever lay eyes on. So when you see it, you say, oh my God, this is my home. And you give it name Jamaicans. And you give it that name. Not Indian, not Arawak and all these nonsense that they're telling you about. And when you go there, you plant the square, standing on the square when you find this land, and see how watery this land was. And you name it the land of wood and water. That's what you name it to be. And this land was so beautiful and watered that there was one town that it goes on today. People popularize the town. It's a tourist attraction. As a matter of fact, the town is called Ocho Rios. When the invaders came and saw it, they gave it name Ocho Rios. Ocho, 8. Rio, rivers. 8 rivers. City of 8 rivers. That's the meaning of that word, Ocho Rios. Yeah. In the place that is called Jamaica. So when you ask about Jaba ptah and his accent, that's where he got that accent from. Traveling from the Nile Valley. Drifting on the Ethiopian current. Going north from south. So we drifting up. In the bosom of my forefathers or my foreparents. Mom and dad, take us through the journey. Western journey. Come to the twin continent. And land at the point called the Yucatan Peninsula. There was no European or mutanoid on the planet yet when this was happening. So, when I land in Jamaica and plant the square, I put an X in the center of the square. And at the bottom of the square, I plant the capstone of the pyramid of my people. And if you look at the flag, you will see it. And because the land was so water, and the land was so fruitful, I put a crocodile on it, and the coat of arms. And that crocodile represent the heaven-filled waters of the Nile, telling you my story, where I'm from, and who I am. Some of my teachers and some of my oratory, they say they are here 66 trillion years ago. Speaking of my time in Jamaica and drifting into America. All the time writing and building the hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs of my people. And when you say, what is the hieroglyphs? Or hieroglyphs? What is that? Well, a hero represents God. Glyphics are carving. The carving of God are the word of God. First, we were speaking in imagery before we develop languages. So this was what was going on. And that's what happened in the life of Jaba ptah, traveling through earth and on the historical journey that takes Jaba ptah through earth. First through the bosom of his four parents. And then later on, he come and found out what it was all about. And therefore, he take unto himself a woman. And after he did that, he bring forth offspring. Just like creation did and creation taught him to do. There are 5 kingdoms. And the 5 kingdoms are the animal kingdom in science now. We're talking about science here. The animal kingdom, plants, fungi, Fungi, protists. If I'm not calling them right, I have my spelling protist, protists, and bacteria. These are the 5 kingdoms that govern things through the planet Earth. The animal kingdom is biology. And when you're dealing with the earth, you're dealing with geology. This is science we're talking about. So you're asking where Jaba come from. Jaba first came chemistry and then through biology. Now I'm in my biological form. And you say, what is the biological form? Well, that's the form that doesn't mean. You call it the animal, right? But everything that's in our category, animal, we are the gods of that. And we put up a monument, one of the most unique monuments in the world. And this monument that we put up is called the Sphinx. And the Sphinx is telling a story and telling us and telling us not only a story, but it's giving us a command. It is saying, seeing that you're in the animal kingdom, or having animal nature, your intellectual nature, the man head on top of an animal. The animal represents the animal that is in you, or that the kingdom that you rule in, or that you're in. So, the man is the God part of you. The head is the God. And he's just telling you, as a matter of fact, it's been prescribed as a intellectual section of you. The God part of you. And it is called the intellect. So, when the Sphinx is there, the Sphinx is saying that your intellect should have dominion over your beastly nature or your animal nature. You won't go out there and rob the man and kill him and practice genocide on him and amputate his limbs and kill 600 million on the southern side of Africa and kill 22 million over here in Congo and all the kind of stuff. You wouldn't be doing that. You would be taking care of your animal nature or your animal instinct. Your intellect, the God part, the God would be known to take care of this, and he wouldn't caught up into genocide and practice it on one race or another. We shouldn't do that. It's forbidden for us to do that. So this is where Jaba tried to, and the cradle that cradled him after leaving Africa. Back then we were called the Umlik, the people who people the West. Not Maya. I'm talking about, we are going by the Maya calendar. The Maya don't have a calendar. The man at the center of the calendar with his tongue hanging out. That's God Bet. The ptah. That's his symbol. With his tongue hanging out. Showing you. And if you go and look in every history and every culture, you will see that man at the center with his tongue hanging out. The first. The first. So when you hear about Mendelusi, and ha-ha, them time they know Jehovah not come here yet, man. All the man with them call you and Selassie with disrespect, with disrespect the Marquette with them call him Marcus Messiah Garvey, the Messiah, and these people are disrespecting him. Those who he stand up for rights came from Jamaica. As a matter of fact, right beside the same town that I told you that the name is 8 Rivers. St. Anne's Bay. Right where the thieving boy Columbus claimed that he come and land his ship. And when he land there in a place called Seville, he named it Seville. It wasn't called Seville then. They name it Seville. Liars and thieves, so they be changing things as they go along. And when they find out stuff. You got to understand that these people were worshiping dragon. It was just yesterday they were worshiping dragon. There's no dragon on earth. These are allegory stories. They say the world was flat. They were falling off the earth. Now these people come and take over and control your mind. Yeah. And keep you in a condition as a mere smurf. And when you ask, what is a smurf? Smurf means that you're a slave. That's what the word smurf means. Go look it up for yourself. Stand up, brothers and sisters. You were God then. You still God today. So why are you living in a nigger condition? A nigger is not a person. It's a condition. Negro is a color, they are an ethnic group of people. But when you speak about a nigger, it's a condition, that one of the condition that they impose on you. That human being has been brought low in. This condition that is called a nigger condition. That's what it's called. There's no human being or no human on the planet called a nigger. You have an Ethiopian. You have a mutinoid. Or he call himself Anglo-Saxon. You see? You have a Chinese. Could go on and on. So, we need to get ourselves together as a people. Start producing. There was a great brother here. One of the world great teachers of our people. They call him Dr. Ben. Yeah. His name is Dr. Yakana. Or Yakanahan. That's his name. He's an Ethiopian. And he told me a story one time that when he was doing his study and he was hanging around certain people that was doing the study at the time, and these were mutinoid. And they probably think that his blackness would have fallen off on them, so they put him away from the campfire. Studying. And he was the only black man there looking into our story to see if we have a story, because the guys who he was there would say we don't have a story. Ain't no such thing. You never made no contribution. You was the only race on the planet that does not make a contribution to the development of man. And on your planet. Now he's out of order to say that, because you are the Marquette. Builders of civilization. Your God Ptah, the God who created all gods. Because remember now, in the allegory stories that they tell you around here, you have God who create God. You have God Jesus, you have God Holy Ghost, and you have God what? The Father or God Jehovah, what you want to call him, or Jah. Huh? And you say those gods are there. Allah and all that. But let me tell you, and those Chinese who are worship in dragon, they have a woolly head Buddha down there. Go look it up. Yeah? The Buddha is their God. The woolly head Buddha. The image of the woman is there. So all those people who coming around and tell you that they martial art king came from the original land, the land, Al-Kabe land, the land of Ethiopia. They ain't no martial art, nothing. They got it from us. They are still writing in the hieroglyphs same way, drawing in their language same way. Ying, black ye. Oh, look at it. So, just saying these things that we know who we are and that you know who Jaba ptah is. See? Even though I praise some people for the work that they do, that doesn't mean that they never do anything wrong. None of us is perfect. So therefore, what we're saying here today is to follow the 42 laws of Ma'at. Follow these 42 laws of Ma'at. Know these laws. Know the science of our time and the science of our planet and the science of our universe. Know these things. Don't dwell on allegory stories. Don't talk about religion and belief. Those are allegory stuff. Religion and belief mean that you didn't know. It's either you know or you don't know. So don't follow after things that you don't know. Try and know the things. And in the meantime, protect our children and our women with your life. Is out of our woman. Because the woman is the soil. And the man is the seed. And the child is the fruit. Therefore, we got to protect this at all time with our life, people of planet Earth. And as I say to you today, we are from where we say we are. From the beginning of the Nile. At the foothill of the mountain of the moon. From the land Al-Kabe land, otherwise known as Ethiopia. And today it is called Africa and also other names. Remember now that there's no Persia that any mutanoid come from. Persia are black. The Persian archers are black. Those who call themselves mutanoid and European, Caucasars and Ashkenazims, they say they came to Saqqara to study. Some for 32 years. Hippocrates say he studied for 32 years. Herodotus say he studied for 22 years. Homer say he studied for 28 years. Those are their gods. First people who learn to read on the side of the mutanoid. So don't follow after them. And those who are worshiping dragon. Well, the woman is very beautiful. We paint the heavens and call it Nut, in the image of a woman. The stars and the moon and the sun. And see how beautiful she are. And let us remain black and beautiful as she is. Jaba ptah. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha.